I think my mic is on now. I don't think you guys are hearing any funky background noise. We're just about ready to take off today. We're going to have an easy show today. Today we're going to talk about recipes, not just how to write them and stuff. We're going to talk just a little bit about a few recipes, and then we'll talk about how to blog on them. I have a recipes for you app, which is full of really cool stuff, and it's all totally free. It's very easy to use, so I'll talk about that too in the show. We have two screens to go through. One's just kind of a little quickie video thing where I'll talk about the recipes for you group and app. Then the second one that we go through, or no, the first one is just a little screen where I talk about the group and the app. Second one, I talk more details about the app. So to tell you the kind of stuff that's kind of in it, and just talk about it a little bit. Then I may, depending if we have a lot of people in, if we don't, I'll be real quick tonight. But if we have people asking questions or sharing recipes or whatever, probably drop a few links for some of, I'll do it myself. In Facebook, the links will be. Then later, I think if the moderator comes in tonight, which I think she might make it, I didn't have a chance to talk to anyone. I've been slammed, guys. I almost don't even want to talk about all the stuff I've been doing. Let me try to get the camera a little closer. I basically have been shut down and reopened thousands of listings on my QWebco site. It looks like I think I finally have gotten all the other stores that were connected with my Shopify. Hey, out, out, out. This is pre-show, so I'm going to scream. Are you guys ready? Can you get the dogs out? I'm almost well, I'm live, but I'm in pre-show. I don't think my employee can hear me. I think he's busy. If this is a casual show, so I'm not really teaching a whole lot of stuff. I am going to teach you guys some stuff. But if the dogs get in here and interrupt us a little bit, I apologize for that. There shouldn't be too much noise. Parrots will probably scream a little bit. But other than that, it should be a pretty casual night. And it'll be fun. If you have questions, feel free to talk. Pop in. I'm just killing a little bit of time here where we let people know I'm here. Oh, let's see here. Am I live? Nope. Let's see if I'm on Facebook yet. I have to give it time because I'm using Restream and it's been a little clunky lately, getting me everywhere I need to be. But we are live now. I don't know if anyone's watching us or not. Starting early. All right, let me turn the volume down. All right, we're going to be starting early. Now, while we're in pre-show, guys, you're going to see me looking down a lot. I'm not going to be answering messages or anything, but I am going to go to my site. Well, you know what? I'm going to go to the other site. I'm going to go to my Strikingly website. You're going to see both sites today. But where I'm going to share my first little recipes with you guys is what I'm queuing up right now. That, by the way, if you want to follow along until I get the recipes in here, it is actually qwebco.mystrikingly.com. This is what that site looks like. Most of my business is going to be in here and my Shopify site. Now, my Shopify site is going to have thousands, like 60,000 items eventually. It's going to have thousands right off. As a matter of fact, one of them that you'll see live in there right now, we'll talk about this later. We're going to be talking about recipes today, but while I'm kind of lollygagging, waiting for people to get in here, I'm mostly waiting for the moderator. I'll talk about my business. So what you just saw me hold up was the thing that says costumes. Now, I think pretty much Shopify, I believe, has begun to take action to remove the items that I've deleted. I got rid of that AliExpress stuff. That was a nightmare from hell. I had customs drama. I had every drama you can possibly think of. And out of all the sales I had, most all high dollar ones were all high risk. One I had a chargeback. The other two I had to refund. Almost $1,000 of stuff. All the sales that did go through, the items were very late. Half of them, the items were crap when they arrived. The buyers sent me messages. instant refund. Then I had some on Together that uh, that was a nightmare because the orders from Together I process quickly, but I have to do them where you copy the information over and then you have AliExpress fulfill it, which was no problem. Just took an extra day normally for them to do that. I've got a fruit fly in here. But I didn't have any trouble doing my job. And the shipping, like, always took an extra day or two longer than what they said for them to even ship the item. Then $130 pair of shoes, they did not put any customs papers in. Now, they're supposed to do all that. It's all filled out and ready to go. I looked, I verified. So, of course, the items get held by customs. So, what happens? You refund. The items get released. The buyer gets it. By then, you never get your money. It's over. They've already been refunded. You can file and eventually you might get it, but it's a nightmare. Buyer's going to be ticked because I did everything right. I filled out the customs form. They filled out their customs form. But frickin' AliExpress is so crappy. They didn't even print the form and put it on the package. You know, they send out how many millions of things? Mm-mm. So, you know what? You guys know me. I'm going to talk to you guys for, we have a couple minutes. We got 10 minutes before we're actually supposed to start. And I think, I'm going to send a message here in a second. I think we'll be starting here in about 5 minutes. So, of course, uh, it only took me, like, I did it for, I have to give props though. When Orbello was doing it and they had verified suppliers, I had a few sales that I had no drama with at the beginning. Otherwise, I wouldn't have done any of this. Then Orbello cancels their verified suppliers and says, "Oh, but it's no problem. Just use AliExpress. That's what everyone uses." Well, I had never added any AliExpress. Well, I can't say that. I probably had added some AliExpress items without actually quite realizing it because they were through verified suppliers. But I had no trouble tracking. All this stuff came through, right? Soon as they did away with that, and I had to use the AliExpress through Orbello, it was every single thing a nightmare. And finally, after like 10 total transactions, I said, you know what? That's the end of that. I killed 7,464 listings. I totally did away with all foreign supplied products. And I went with a new supplier that gets the item from you purchasing to your front door. They say 3 to 5 days. If I wanted to advertise that, I could. But I always do not do that. I always add a day or two because I cannot trust that a supplier is going to do what they actually say. Until I've had that happen every single time consecutively for 150 sales, my policy will be, and I haven't changed it in the store yet, that you will get your item from purchase to your front door in 7 days, even though it's supposed to be 3 to 5. It's all automatic processing of orders. That means I don't touch anything. You buy it, the order slip immediately goes to the shipper. They send it out that day or the next day, just like Amazon and everywhere else. But I always add time because I think there's always a delay. There's always some sort of delay. Payment might not go in before midnight, so it might be noon. I don't want to overestimate their abilities. But I'm very happy because now I'm going to talk about this in the show a little bit. We're almost about ready to start. But I'm really actually quite happy. If you go to keywebco.com right now and just want to peek before we start talking about recipes, costumes is awesome. You can actually look at the collection that's at the top that says newly listed items. Unless you scroll through like 50 pages of those newly listed items, you're not going to hit any products that might still be live that I would just have to refund you. In other words, the chances of you running across those items if you're going through my collection that are visible on the page, except for kitchen, don't mess with that kitchen collection too much. I just started messing with that today. But costumes is awesome. And I have 11,000 listings for costumes going in. I'm going to have a complete costumes. I mean, if you name a costume, it's going to be in there. It's all USA fulfilled. No more drama. I am not dealing with that China crap anymore. Makes money though. See, this USA fulfilled crap, I don't make squat. You might pay I don't know. It depends on the item. They have all values. It's all quality stuff, though. None of this is junk, guys. This is all U.S. stuff. It's probably from China, but it's all U.S. fulfilled. There's no shipping junk here and then moving it there. It's all just like Amazon and everyone else does. But the problem with it is, a couple more minutes to go. Problem with it is uh, because the overhead and the shipping cost is so astronomically high here in the United States, my global sales, where I've actually been making my money, those are going to go down a crapper, except for on particular items, and hence the costumes that I have selected. These are quality. The price points are okay for the US. The price points are a tad high foreign in certain areas, but all I'm doing the numbers. I'm sorry, I look off to the left when I do numbers, but all of my shipping is $25. Well, it's $24.99 global, no matter what you're ordering. This is another change. I've always done free shipping worldwide, whatever. That's all totally different. It's $25 shipping global, no matter what you're buying. Looks like we're going live here pretty quick. And then for the US, because I'm trying to build a US market, because I was getting all global money, no US money. So for the US, I have a pretty sweet deal. I did not mark up. This is how I import. I import at their standard rates, a standard set percentage. I did not mark that up. So my prices are already baseline price. Instead of charging you ginormous amounts of shipping, which is what they charge, I only charge $9.99 for shipping up to 50 pounds. Then from or $50. From $50 to $75, I charge $5.99. All orders over $75 are all free USA shipping. I have to do that way. Now let me explain why. Basically, you heard my shipping price. As you go up, there are a little bit more profit margins. So I scaled everything. So if you buy a $45 item, or let's say no, let me that would be on the first one. Let me give you the second one. You buy anything under $50, you're going to pay $10 because chances are, if the item is $50 or below in my store, the only money I will get is some, if not all, but mostly some of that $10. And I have affiliates, so if they sell anything, they get 10%. So some things I'm only making $1, and you might be paying $50. That's why there's a shipping charge. Instead of just increasing the prices of all the products, because that's what most people do, I left it the way I import it to save me time. So I scheduled my profit margin, what little there is, into the shipping costs. Now, I used to do that on eBay a long time ago, and that worked just fine. But like I said, that's only for the lower end. That's why you pay a little bit for the shipping until you get over $75. Once the items start getting over $75, normally there's 4, 5, maybe even as much as $10 in the product itself differentiation between what it costs me to buy it and ship it to you to what I actually make. Then there's no shipping charge. So I'm basically switching the $10 or so I make on a transaction from all the shipping money to coming from the products. And that was the best way I could scale my store to be able to have a large volume of listings, all properly tagged and put in there. Good to go. We are almost on time, and I don't see my moderator. I'm going to send him a message in a minute. So let me finish. So costumes, drones, and it just says drones in my store, but it actually is drones and RC cars and toys. I don't have the boats in there yet, but that's all like the good toys. Not going to be carrying a whole bunch of crap. That's the other thing. I used to carry. I'm still going to have about probably 50, $60,000, 50 or 60,000 listings, but I'm not going to have any of the cheap junk like you would get from China. That's all gone. Even it, all the drones and everything are all U.S. fulfilled. Now that doesn't mean they're not made in China. I think the brands are actually all pretty good, but they're all from here and they're all very reputable. So I'm actually kind of excited because my customers are going to be much happier. I just can't deal with the slow China, make a little money, take forever. I've done 10 years, more than 10 years on e-commerce platforms, and in particular eBay. My whole business, the entire time I was on eBay, was the fact that if you bought something, I got it to you in Amazon speed. My customer base has always been kind of expecting that quick shipping and that nice, you know, quality service, and I just cannot provide that using AliExpress or Obello. So that's the change. So to recap, before we start our show, we're going to be talking about recipes. I'm just about ready to rock and roll. We're going to be talking about recipes, which is going to be a lot of fun, and talk about how to blog on them and all kinds of stuff. Let me send my message live. I hope she can make it. Now, it's hard for my moderator to make it on in the evening because she's in New York. She's very, very busy. But if she makes it, awesome. If she can't make it, it's no big deal. There's not really too much for her to do today. Just, I'm sorry, I've got spam in here. It's just the listings. Oh, man. Oh, great. She's on a work call. She's almost done. Lovely. Perfect timing. See, I babbled on. Man, this spam thing is driving me nuts. Sorry. I babbled on just long enough about my business to get it almost time for the show. This is nuts. I just can't stand this window stuff. I have to use it actually for the show. All right, now it is showtime. So I don't like to be late. I've talked several minutes, so we are going to rock and roll. So there's a countdown, and then we start the show. It's going to be fun. Well, hello, everybody. Clear my throat. We're going to start the show here. Here's a little psychotic today. Well, today you are on the Helpful Tips Show. This is our live stream. I have a terrible thing about not looking at the camera, so get used to that. I'm always looking down. Sorry, I try to look at the camera a little more. But our show today is going to be pretty fun. I don't know if we're going to have any questions. I don't know how many people are going to be here because this is not my normal thing. My normal thing is to share a whole bunch of business apps and selling apps and SEO. But today we're going to kind of talk a little bit about blogging in here mixed in. But mostly we're just going to talk about some of the recipes I cook, some of the recipes you cook, any questions you might have. I am sure that it'll end up going to blogging because that's what most people are going to come in here and say, oh, well, recipes, that's great. Okay, yeah, I like to cook. Now, how can I make some money? So that's probably the questions we'll get. But I'm going to try to keep it light and fun. We're going to talk about food. I am starving. All I had was a little, talking about recipes, and all I had was a little nuke thing of some Chinese food from Walmart today. So I'm actually hungry. So this is a good time to talk about recipes. All right, so we've started the show. Um, I have a little scene. I'm going to give my moderator a couple seconds to get in here, and that also gives me an opportunity to go look up some of the things I didn't do in the pre-show. So, what am I talking about recipes for? What does recipes have to do with an e-commerce seller? Now, of course, if you're a blogger, obviously it's for advertisement or links or whatever. Dang. I can still see some of those AliExpress products that I talked about in the pre-show in my embed codes on my sites. I don't know if you really understand how much that bothers someone like me. Most people say, oh, I just refund them. I don't like refunding. People don't want to have money refunded to them. All right, so I am still trying to look up these recipes. I don't come to this site to share recipes too often. I normally use one of my other sites, but it is here, so let me call up some recipes for you guys. Moderator should be popping in. She's going over to YouTube, so I'm kind of waiting for her to get there because she's really good about making sure the stuff I stick all over the place on Facebook ends up making it into YouTube. Now, we're going to start off. Before I even get into the stuff later on, I have apps that I'm going to give you later. That's after the moderator gets here. And after you've had a chance to actually watch the video about the app, there's no reason for me to share you the link. So you know where it is. And I think it's written on the page too. The first thing I'm going to give you tonight that we're going to start before I even give you my little spiel about the group or what recipes for you is or not, I'm going to give you a great resource. Now, this isn't the best recipe blog you're ever going to see because really, this blog is to lead you to other resources and information. In other words, it's not about me sharing my recipe with you in this blog. It's actually about me sharing the resources of things that I like and that are great recipes and good resources. I'm going to give you a little tip before I even share this link. If you're on mobile, you might see that when you get to a PDF. You might even see that on a PC. Jiggle it a little bit, and it will pop up. And these PDFs, by the way, work on site. Oops, sorry, it scrolled. Wow. You know how PDF works. You use this little bar on the side, and you can read all of the outsourced links directly on the web page. I don't like to jump from page to page, so I try to embed everything. There's also some videos and stuff. So I'm going to share this with you right off. I have some cooking tips in here. Now, this is me personally. That's why I'm sharing this with you first, because this is the kind of recipe type blogging that I actually prefer doing. I do make recipes and include them that I write myself and some that I copy and redo. I do that. I just give credit whenever it's necessary. And I do that myself and make recipe blogs. But mostly what I promote on the recipes is the Recipes for You app and group because that is actually got two other recipe writers that have been doing this for years and they are quite professional. So you get the real good quality and volume of recipes from them. You get all the tips and the apps and all the extra little bells and whistles from me and the little videos. So it's a good combo. So we're going to talk about that in a minute. But first, I promised I'm still waiting for that moderator. She's coming. There she is. Hey, you made it. Only 5 minutes. You did great. I talked about my store and business and stuff. Right now, I'm sharing an app that if you want to go to Facebook, I know you just logged in. You don't have to do this. It's going to be elsewhere again. But I'm going to just share a link with everybody right here before we've even started the show, kind of. But now that you're here, we're going to get going. So let me go ahead and pop that over to Facebook. You can grab it and share it again on YouTube if you want to, but you don't really have to. This article is one. Now, this is me. This is not me sharing really recipes. It's just the kind of recipe type articles I actually like to write. I actually like to refer you to better recipes. I mean, I write good ones, guys. I make this stuff. I'm not everything. Anyone that tells you they make every recipe that they publish is full of crap. They've made them before. Okay? Don't always think that they're out there in that kitchen making the recipe. If I've made the recipe previous several times and I want to publish it, I'll go through it and I'll publish it. But if it's something that I haven't made or I've only made once or twice and I want to make sure, or if it's a recipe that I've kind of stolen from somebody else, bad choice of words, I don't steal anything, but a recipe that I basically have copied, a general recipe, and then I'm like, well, I normally add a little more of this, a little more of that, I take this out. When I do those adaptations, I give credit if the primary recipe was just copied. In other words, if 90% of it is the same, heck yeah, I'm going to give credit even if I changed a few ingredients. I'll say which few ingredients I changed. That's about as close to copying a recipe as I come. Most of the time, there's no reason for me to give credit at all because it might be the three primary ingredients in the dish and everything else I've changed and altered and made myself. So if that's the case, I actually make those recipes. I should photograph them, but it's a nightmare to photograph in my kitchen. The dog's jumping all over me and the employee's sticking his finger in the pot, to taste the stuff. So I really don't have a good setup. But eventually I'm going to put one of my camcorders over my stove. And all of my cooking is going to be recorded. I'm going to just simply cook my meal that day. Guys, I'm about volume work here. I'll cook my meal that day, whatever it is, even if it's just sunny side up eggs, whatever it is. I'll cook it in my nice little stoneware, visionware, whatever is great for the video. Just do a little video as I'm cooking right over the top, cut out all the boring stuff, and then show the final dish, maybe the ingredients in the final dish, a couple pictures. So we've got a video, maybe two pictures, and I just simply list my ingredients, give a basic description because you're watching the video of how I do it. I'm not going to do transcripts because I tend to talk a lot. And you'd have to read 5 miles of text all the way down the page just to find out how to flip an egg. But so that's in the probably by January I can have all that set up where because I want to make sure that it comes through nice. So you got to be careful when you have cameras above. You get smoke and steam, so you've got to have a good vent. But then you can't have it too noisy. So my vent's too noisy. I tried it the other day, and all you heard was. Nobody wants to hear the vacuum sound of the vent instead of the frying steak or whatever it is you're cooking. So that is coming. All right, I think we are ready to rock and roll. I think we're ready to start the show. I hope I get some questions or someone wanting to share some recipes because I am going to go and grab a few recipes after we get going. So let's get this video stuff over with first. So what we're talking about tonight, like I said, is recipes. Now, this is just a little ad I have for the Recipes for You app. We're not going to get into details. We're getting into details on the app later. But basically, it's just got cooking tips. It's got anything you might possibly need related to cooking. You know how thorough I am. And all types, not just meat and fish. It's got vegans and all that stuff in there too. It's got the Boston's Bar Guide. I advertise that because I use that Boston's Bar Guide. It has salads, breakfast recipes. This is just a little ad, but this is what we're talking about. Now, there's a group connected with this too. The Recipes for You group, and that's where you find out what's for dinner. You can go in there and get all kinds of great recipes. That's Linda and Jody's group. Linda and Jody's group, but I am in it. See, it wasn't that easy. Just a little ad for the Recipes app. Now, I'm going to go ahead and I didn't have the moderator do anything today because I didn't prep her, but I'm going to go ahead and over here on Facebook. And you guys can just write this. You know, it's not hard to remember. I'm giving you a bit.ly link for the app. Now, when I give you guys a bit.ly link, it is important and very important. Oh, crap. Sorry. I hit the wrong button. It is important that you type exactly like this bit.ly link. Actually, I think she just gave you the app as the real link. Okay, I just gave you the bit.ly link. She gave you the awesome, that's the direct line link. So if you're uncomfortable using bit.ly, you can just hit the adds me link. Yeah, adds me link. All right, so that link there is for the Recipes for You app. Not the group, but the group link is in there. Now, the next window we're going to go to here in just a moment, if I can find it, we're going to go through this app and you can actually see what's in it. And you can open it and scroll through. Now, let me explain something about these apps before we get into the recipes, because I'm ready to get on and start sharing some recipes. All right, so let's talk about these apps for just a moment, then we'll move right along. All of these apps that you are seeing that say adsy.me, you can make those yourself 100% free, by the way. I know the person that developed them in the UK, the primary one, the one that actually came up with the code, and then how it got modified. I know a couple of them, but not real well. It costs no money. I have no affiliation, but I've been using them forever. You can market your products and goods with these little microsites. I use them for apps. I have a whole page of apps, but we'll get to that towards the end of the show when everyone's dropping their links in. All right, are you guys ready? You guys ready to rock and roll? We're going to rock and roll. We're going to talk about this Recipes for You app. And notice the links carry over. Isn't that nice? So, this is the Recipes for You app. I hope the background noise is off because it probably makes all kinds of noise. That is the Facebook group. It's exactly like the app. The app came from the group, not vice versa. I made the app on my pages to augment the group, and the group is awesome. There's just like a veggie tip. Now, I have changed some of the windows in here, but essentially this is what's in the app. And it's going to scroll through. That is Linda's. That is Linda's. That is tips just for you. I believe Jody's got a few recipes in there as well, but I believe that is primarily Linda's site. You will get awesome recipes. Again, another tip. You kind of get tips. Those are spacers. By the way, I'm going to tell you something in the next coming window if I don't forget. If it's the right window. Yes, it's the right window. That's Jody's site. If you see that little play button, I believe the videos are still good. I have to update this app, but I believe it's okay. Hit that play, and you can actually watch it in the app, or you can open it full screen. Again, another little cooking tip. We're not going to go through the tips while we go through the apps. We can talk about tips later. This has not got too much longer. We'll be done with this. Again, that is another site of Linda's. We start off with the sites, and I get to the good stuff. That's Linda's site. That is another one. That's the one that's been around since I can remember, and it is full of every recipe you can have. Now, knowing me, you know I've got to put some PDFs and tech in there. That is an awesome PDF of cooking tips. No affiliation with me or anyone else, just a free public reference. That's awesome. And there I am. That is one of my sites. I don't know which one it is. That is my Strikingly website. Those are the recipes and stuff in there. There's my veggie cooking sheet, another tip thing. Next thing that's coming up, you're going to kind of like. You guys can do this too for free anytime. It's called Flipboard. I have a magazine on Flipboard called Recipes for You magazine. It is only at this time so far. I am the only one really kind of contributing. So it's really just my recipes in there. But you can access the apps and everything there. There's a free little recipe card maker for you if you want to publish those or use those in any way. That's all free. Again, keywebco.com. Now, that is my global store, which really now is kind of a US based store, but it still sells globally, so I'm not changing the name. That's the store that I was telling you about, that it's costumes and drones and stuff that are all good in there right now. Just some more tips. We're almost done. I think there's like 2 or 3 more windows. Again, this is video cooking tips. This is a particular video that I kind of really liked. I watched it and I learned something. Anything that I watch and I actually learn something new, I tend to pay attention to. This, of course, is just me, Helpful Tips. This is my social media website. I believe that is the Helpful Tips website that goes along with all the shows and the Helpful Tips group. This is again a book, the best I have read ever, and I've read that book many, many times. And again, free PDF. Why pay for anything? Best stuff is right there. This is a really good one I put in. It's an article, not one that I wrote, just something that I found very useful, and it's rules for writing a good recipe and making them. Again, here is the business page. Yes, the business page still exists. I had a bunch of Facebook changes. That is the business page for the app. There's that Boston's Bar Guide. You know it's time for a cocktail, guys. I really need a cocktail. I'm tired. It's getting late. And it's Thursday. We all need a cocktail. Well, if you need one, there's the recipes on how to do it. There's, of course, the Food Network. Everyone's familiar with the Food Network. I put it in there because some people just like to watch it while they're cooking, like me. So that's why it's in the app. That is awesome. If you don't know what to buy, or you're looking, and if you're a seller and you found some dishes or pots and pans, and you don't know what's good, what's crap, or whatever, that will help you out. This is again just an awesome little PDF file that I have. That's public. Anyone can get this from anywhere, but it shows you how to eat really cheap. And trust me, I use that a lot. Again, another tip. And then we are almost done. I thought there was like 4 more. I thought there were 2. The next window coming up here is if you need a website. If you need a website, all you have to do is go to keywebsitecompany.mystrikingly.com. I will hook you up. I can teach you how to do it for free, or you can pay me $225, open it out of the box, and have something awesome that people will remember forever. There again is the Facebook Recipes for You group. I really encourage you to join it. It's no obligation. You just go in there, and there's always good recipes and content that people are awesome. And that, of course, is my store. Of course, I've got to put some business plugs in here. You need to shop at keywebco.com, or you need to shop at keywebco.mystrikingly.com. You can get lots there. By the way, those lots can be also bought from my app. You can join my affiliate marketing, which is fine. There's no problem with that. Just going to have a few less products, just product types. More products, less product types. And this is important. The very last link in all of my apps, which we have finished, the very last link in all of my apps is always the link, hopefully, if I've done it, to my app page. And we'll talk about that for a second, then we'll get into recipes. I'm going to share some. My app page is awesome. Anything you need anything, guys. If it's a business question, if it's a just a personal question, if you're looking up recipes or anything really that you really need to know, or there's something you want to learn, hey, anything you really need to know. If you go to most all of my apps, like the recipes app that we're talking about recipes today, I'm going to start sharing some recipes here in a minute. Uh, Anything you need to know, all the apps you need, all the information. If you want to check your SEO, if you want to know what good keywords are, if you want to know the metrics are on a particular product, how many sales it has globally, if you want to know its estimated profits and yields and returns, all that data is in that app. And when I say that app, that whole page on the last link on most of my apps is called, it goes to the keywebco.mystrikingly.com site. You go to the second link at the top, which is a page all of its own, and it's the KeyWebCo apps. Seriously, guys, I have never created anything, and I've created a lot of reference materials and textbooks and training manuals. I mean, I don't even want to go into it, but I've never created anything quite as powerful as using these little freebie apps that I have and embedding them all on my own site. Now, that page is going to open slowly and not overly great, but it's not designed for SEO. It's designed to give you every tool you need. Now, this is how you use it, and then we'll get back into the recipes. You open up your browser, you have a tab. You open up my app page. Whatever you need to know, you just go over that tab, scroll down to the little box, and you can scroll right there on the page without opening the app separately to the link that you need for whatever it is you're looking for. So if it's keywords, you just go to the tab, scroll down to my SEO app, scroll down in the little box. Do you see, oh, there's keyword tool. Boom, hit it, follow the directions, close that tab, and all your data is there. And the original tab is still open on the other page for you to look up your next question. So no searching, no jumping and looking for this and looking for that and finding everything you could possibly want all in my app page. That is something that I'm working on, and there'll be 75 more apps in there. Okay, enough of me talking about my darn apps. Does anyone have any questions? If you have any questions about recipes or writing blogs about recipes, this would be the time to ask, because I'm just about ready to jump over here, start sharing some recipes with you guys. Any questions? Now, you know there's a delay, but you can still get questions in the next window. All right, this next window is where I invite you guys, if you are in business or write blogs or have recipes, this is the window where you can do it at any time, but this is where I encourage you guys, if you're selling on eBay, drop your eBay store in there. If you're on YouTube or Facebook or whatever, drop your link in there. That's okay. Do not send individual items spamming my page, but drop your business. I want to know who you are. I don't want to have to look you up. I'll probably share your stuff around. No big deal. So feel free to do that. All right, and that's on any of the sites. I see we've got people all over here, guys. We're on a lot of networks. So any network that happens to be on here, most of them will appear on the screen. Some people are chatting right now that you guys aren't going to see because it's in a different part of the world that I can't link in. But other than that, there's a lot going on. Hey. So if you want to drop a recipe in, this would be the time to do it, because that's what I'm going to start doing. So we are going to jump over here, and I'm going to give you the link to the articles that have these recipes, okay? And not just on one site, but these are links that are actually probably, oh, come on, refresh, come on. These are links that'll actually probably be pretty useful to you. Now, remember, guys, I do write recipes, but what I'm best at is training and teaching and showing you how it works on SEO and integrating things into your businesses. So I'm going to share some of that stuff in here with the recipes, because I don't want everyone just sit there and go, oh, he's just going to share some recipes around. Well, I am, but I'm also going to give you a few tools, things to help you with your business. So right now, this is an article that I've done, and I did this one. It's an archive article, which means it's in 2 sites, and I'm giving you the archive article, which is the best always, because I add to it. It's how to write a recipe updated with helpful tips. Now, it should come through here a second. I've got to do these manually. These are all going into Facebook, but they will be on the screen. Okay, that is a great article if you really want to know how to write it. Okay, how to write a recipe. All right, so let's get out of that. Now I'm going to share something really, really good with you guys. It'll take me a second to find it. I don't have these pre-ready. I wanted to, but I didn't have time. Dang it! Come on, come on. I'm having difficulty because I got to scroll down a few pages. I'm gonna. All my recipes are available on these sites. So if you are looking at this, all you have to do is go to the primary site. Because first we're starting on this one, then I've got to jump over to the other. Okay, I want to make sure I send you the right one. Is this the right one? Let me open it real quick. I believe this is the right one. Yes. Yes. I actually, this is probably one of the set of recipes that I use the most. So let me copy that and give it to you guys. Now, anytime you have a recipe, now it can be written out, it can be a link like what I'm sharing. But if you guys have some recipes that you really like, feel free to put them in there. Now, of course, I've already shared the link previous for the app, so we're going to put that in there. Again, recipes -4 -U. And there you go. Let's make sure that comes through there too. Okay, now if anyone has any particular recipes they want to share or whatever, feel free to do that. Now, we're going to my other site now. Let me go to my other browser. Almost done sharing the recipes because you can find everything from the app and these particular links I am giving you. So let me go to the other site. Here we go. Going to share a recipe that I think if I can do this right, you'll be able to see the difference between an original article that I write here at the KeyWebCo Global site, and then when it happens to that article once I send it to the archives where I actually have a website that I do myself. My sites are better than anything you're going to find on a platform or anything else. Guys, I'm serious. They're crap compared. Shopify, which should be so flawless and stuff, it's been around forever, is total crap compared to what you can do on your own. That's just to be honest. I could tell you a bunch of, bull, like a lot of people that write, on their own platforms, but I'm not going to. I'll tell you the truth. The blogs are mediocre at best on Shopify, and you can see the difference. All the ones that I've shared with you so far, now they may be copied, so I can't guarantee the HTML on all those, but this should be good. When I say copied, I copy the HTML from my primary article. Remember, these are duplicate articles on the same author, archived on the same ownership of website, so I don't have any Google problems with that. Okay, yes, this is zucchini bread. My mom makes freaking awesome zucchini bread. Well, this is my adaptation of her recipe pretty much. And there are, let me see, I embedded a few others from other people in here. So I'm going to share this with you. Now, this is actually, as far as Shopify goes, come on, as far as Shopify's ability to write articles go, this is actually pretty darn good for a Shopify article. Hold on, Facebook. Jumping around a little bit, guys. Sorry. Here we go. That is zucchini bread coming through there. Now, that is a totally different site. If you notice, the addresses are different. One is keywebco.mystrikingly. The other one's the domain I own. That's keywebco.com. Of course, that goes to Shopify. Look at the quality of difference between blogs. And that's a good blog, actually, on Shopify. And the other ones are articles that I've copied and archived and just added. But look at the quality difference between the two articles. One is something I can produce on my websites, that's the Strikingly, and the others which you get on a platform, and pretty darn good for a platform, actually, compared to what most people produce there. I just wanted to make that observation to you. One thing that I can do, but I don't really like to do, I could pay money to WordPress. Let me give you a tip on blogging. I could pay money to WordPress. Then things would be super, super mega easy for me. I used to do that. I had WordPress sites and they did really well. But I use IFTTT that is a trigger mechanism to send one article from one site to another. Well, if you want to set up your blogging sites to really be awesome and not be that difficult, you have two options. If you're on Shopify already, you can RSS feed from there to your WordPress site, but it has to be a paid one. You can do it on the WordPress.com, which, by the way, let me give you that link too. All of the stuff I do automatically goes to this site. Now, this is a free site. I'll just type the link in. Well, no, let me go there and copy it. I have a WordPress site, and it is the free one. QWebCo, my blogs. I don't even remember what the address is. Hold on, I'm gonna have to go to my own page to remember what the address is. Sorry about that, guys. I changed it. Give me just a second here. This won't take me a moment. Well, I say that. Come on, come on, come on. Well, basically, it took me the wrong site. That's why. Basically, my WordPress site just gets feeds from my two sites, my Strikingly website and my Shopify store. That's not the good way to do it. If you pay for WordPress, you can have it do the same way. Here we go. Here's my WordPress. Yeah, it's KeyWebCo blogs, one word, .wordpress.com. Let me share that with you. Now, these are the same articles, but you're going to notice there's significantly more feed in these WordPress, in this free WordPress site. Now, the reason I'm showing you that is that's what I would call junk for me. Now, it works. I get engagement. It's all right. And those WordPress sites also have feeds it sends out, so it's great for sharing. But if that was a paid WordPress site like I had before, all of the content that you see on both Shopify and the other site would be completely original, like it appears on the site. You'll notice if you look at these things on WordPress, all of the, well, not all of them, but a majority of the things that are embedded, including pictures and links, just don't render. They'll just be a link you click. But that said, if that's a paid version, everything comes out lovely. And that was really nice because I was able to write a blog on one site that I own. It would go to my store, which didn't really matter. And then it would go to the WordPress site, which I owned also. And I would get engagements on both sides because that's why I archive my articles now. When I was doing the paid version, the article either started on WordPress or started on one of my other sites, and they would get shared to two, not all three. It gets shared to two other sites. That works really, really well because wherever it got shared to, I would go in and make more add-ons to it. So it wasn't completely 100% duplicate copy, even though all the copy that was in there was properly accredited, no problem with Google or anything like that. I always added more content on the share. And I started getting followers that would read the original article. They knew within a few days I would put it in my archives and add more information. And then they knew, of course, it would go to WordPress. Of course, when I had the paid version, a lot of them would go to the WordPress site too. Now that it's the free version, I just have free version traffic and then I have my site's traffic. It's not as good, but I just wanted to mention that to you guys. Since we were talking about recipes. Now, so far, nobody is sharing any recipes. So, since nobody's going to share a recipe, I'm going to go copy one that I like, and I'm going to share it, and then we're just going to be done. No questions, no recipes shared. I'm not going to waste you guys' time. So, let's see here. Let me pick. I'm going to pick one that I like, and I'm going to copy it and share it in here with you. I should be able to I'm not going to just give you the link. I'm going to actually put the recipe in the chat here. Everyone makes sandwiches all the time, right? I should hope so. Oh, come on. Open for me. Oh, it brought me to a whole bunch of them. Sorry about that, guys. Hold on. No. Sorry, I'm not used to this site. Give me a second. Oh, it gave me a PDF. I don't want to give you. Oh, here it is. Here it is. I'm going to give you a link to YouTube. I forgot I didn't write this one out. This is really, really good. Let me copy this. I hope this comes through. Sometimes these YouTubes don't copy very well. Yeah, there it goes. Some sandwich recipes on YouTube. Those are really, 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 really good. Now, I was hoping someone would share a recipe or something, but basically, no one's doing that. I hope everyone's enjoying me babbling on about recipes and a little bit about blogging mixed in with my parrot screaming in the background. But since we didn't get anyone asking any questions about recipes or sharing any recipes, I was glad I was able to share with you. I hope you guys enjoy the apps and the groups. Definitely check out the apps and the groups. It's good stuff. You can always fill your page with recipe content from there, no problem. You can grab those things in RSS feeds from any of my sites as well too. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed listening to me rattle on and on and on a little bit tonight about recipes. I'll be back on next week with a new show. My schedule is posted on my Facebook pages, so check that out. Make sure you check out the Helpful Tips group. That's kind of what mostly we'll be talking about is business and e-commerce. But I just decided to talk and share a few recipes with everyone today. All right, guys, I hope you have a wonderful night, and I will see everyone again soon.